Well, good evening. It has been quite an adventure to record chapter 4 of John Maxwell's The Power of Five. I actually recorded this earlier today, did a wonderful job, and then could not find the recording anywhere. So hopefully this works better. So chapter 4. Chapter 4 is on leadership. The book is called The Power of Five by John Maxwell. As with most careers in network marketing, you will never build success on your own. You will always need other people. Sometimes you will lead them, and sometimes they will lead you. But no matter what, you must make leadership a power you develop. Leading matters. I've studied and taught leadership for over 40 years. It's the topic I'm best known for. During that time, millions of people have heard me say 3 core statements or read them in my books. Here they are. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Everything rises and falls on leadership. How well you lead determines how well you succeed. All 3 describe my leadership journey and represent my philosophy of leadership. So let me elaborate on each of these quotes. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Learning how to influence others is the starting place in your leadership journey. The obvious question is, how do you gain influence with people? The answer is intentionally adding value to them. That's how I began. I faced a lot of leadership liabilities. I was very young, lacked experience, and had no wins under my belt, and had no credibility as a leader. However, what I could do was intentionally, daily, add value to others. Soon I discovered the relationship between continually adding value to people and increasing my influence with them. They began to gather around me because I was an addition to their lives. Leadership can be intimidating, can be an intimidating word. Adding value to others is not. Your network marketing as organization helps you with different ways to add value to others. Introducing people to the business will allow them to receive all the benefits that I wrote about in chapter 1. Every time someone experiences one of those benefits, your influence with them will increase. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Obviously, you want to add value to others and to raise them up to a higher level. For that to happen, you must realize that your leadership matters. You have an opportunity of making things better for those around you. What a privilege. How well you lead determines how well you succeed. That phrase describes the law of the lid. Your leadership ability is the lid that determines the successes of your businesses. For example, if your leadership ability is a 4, your business can only become a 3. Your leadership lid, for better or worse, always determines your business success. The great news is that you can lift your leadership lid. Every time you raise your lid number, your business flows. I'm going to pause for a moment. Hi, I'm back. I decided to put the headphones on just in case, in order to filter out any background noises, like my dishwasher. Leading yourself. I'm frequently asked, John, what is your greatest leadership challenge? My answer, leading myself. Before you can lead others well, you need to know how to lead yourself well. So that's where we will begin. Winners win the personal battles of leading themselves daily. This gives them the credibility and moral authority then to lead others. It's much easier to tell people what they should do rather than do it yourself. My greatest challenge every day is doing what I should do, not what I want to do. But as is often the case, my greatest challenge gives me my greatest victories. When I lead myself well, everything else good flows out from there. Leading myself well requires continual personal reflection and evaluation. I'm going to up my game. If I'm going to up my game, I need to make certain that I do these three things well. Number one, live intentionally. Stop accepting your life. Start leading your life. The first step in leading your life is to take control of it. The opposite of that is accepting your life as it is. Here is what that looks like. 5 points. Hoping that everything will work out, thinking that someone or something will make your day, allowing others to have more control over your life than you, waiting for others to initiate action, giving responsibility for your personal best life to someone else. That is not what you want for yourself. Perhaps that is why you have chosen network marketing as a career. Certainly, this industry will help you make the move from accepting your life to leading it. But you are responsible to make the shift. Here is how you do that. Realize that there's no perfect moment to start. People who just accept their lives are always waiting for the right time to begin. They're always getting ready to get ready. Instead of ready, aim, fire, they are stuck on ready or aim and never fire. The job that is never started always takes the longest to get finished. Recently, I was on a panel of highly successful people at a Horatio Alger event. Sitting beside me was David Lubetsky, the founder of Kinda Bars. When asked a question regarding his successes, he said, I'm not an optimist, I'm an actionist. While everyone else is thinking negative or positive about something, I'm taking action on it. That kind of mentality sets people up for what I call a pre-win. That pre-win is taking action, getting into the game, not the results. You have to get into the game to have any chance of winning the game. Be intentional and turn good intentions into good actions. Intentional living is the bridge between what you want to do and what you actually do. There is a difference between a life of good intentions and an intentional life. Most people want to make a significant difference. Few do. Why? Almost everyone has good intentions. Very few follow up with good actions. My own journey began in the almost everyone category. My intentions were inconsistent and too many times were just thoughts, great ideas, but not backed with actions. To make that turn, my intentions needed to be supported with actual activities, reinforced by intentional living. But how could I do that?
I sat down and listed words that describe my good intentions. Visually seeing them reaffirmed my heart, but also reminded me that those words were not enough to get me the results I searched for. Then I wrote down words of intentional living. The list looked something like this. So there's two columns. Words of good intentions are desire, wish, someday, fantasy, hopefully, passive, occasional, emotion, and somebody ought to. Now, words of intentional living are action, purpose, today, strategy, definitely, active, continual, discipline, I will. When I studied both slides, it was quickly obvious that although these words in the two different columns, were close on the page, there was a wide gap in the results each would bring. But how could I cross over that span? That's when I built the bridge of accountability. Every day I would look at the words in both columns and check whether my actions fell under good intentions or intentionality. Study the list above and take a moment and ask yourself, do I live in the land of good intentions or intentional living? Intentional living helps you do something for yourself today that your future self will thank you for. Accepting your life will give you a future filled with regrets. Leading your life will give you a future full of results. Number 2, exceeding expectations. Stop doing only what is expected. Start doing more than expected. As you start your network marketing business, you have a high expectations about what this opportunity will do for you. Stop right now and change your expectations from how the business will help you to how you will help the business. Why? It will allow you to get control of what you can control. You set the standards high for yourself before you set them for others. For many years, I've read the following words of Diana Snadaker, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of First Republic Bank, and tried to live up to them. In a little box, Set Your Standards High by Diana Snadaker. Set your standards high and keep them high. If you are interested in success, it is easy to set your standards in terms of other people's accomplishments and then let other people measure you by those standards. But the standards you set for yourself are always the most important. They should be higher than the standards anyone else would set for you, because in the end, you have to live with yourself and judge yourself and feel good about yourself. And the best way to do that is to live up to your highest potential. So to set your standards high and keep them high, even if you think no one else is looking, somebody out there will always notice, even if it's just you. You know you're leading your life when no one has to set the bar of expectations for you. What others expect from you, you expect more from yourself. This is how I do it. Number 1, and there's 6. Number 1, set the bar. Always place it higher than anyone else. Number 2, declare the bar. Let your expectations of yourself be known to others. Number 3, hit the bar. Back up your words with results. Number 4, raise the bar. Today's accomplishment won't meet tomorrow's challenges. Number 5, hit the bar again. This is when people stop watching and start following. Number 6, raise the bar again. This is where legends live. My favorite story of exceeding expectations is, and what it looks like comes from Anson Dorrance, the legendary University of North Carolina women's soccer coach. He was driving to work early one morning, and as he passed a deserted field, he noticed one of his players off in the distance doing extra training by herself. He kept driving, but later left a note in her locker. The vision of a champion is someone who is bent over, drenched in sweat, at the point of exhaustion when no one else is watching. The young woman who received that note was Mia Hamm, who would go on to become one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Good followers do what is expected of them. Good leaders do more than what is expected of them. Number 3, be consistent. Stop doing important things someday. Start doing important things every day. People who lead themselves well prioritize well and stay consistent. Here's how it works. Consistency without priorities equals not successful, but dependable. Priorities without consistency equals successful sometimes. And priorities with consistency equals successful continuously. Or as I love to phrase it, consistency compounds. Steady daily gains produce a snowball effect after time. There are 3 ways consistency can benefit you in your network marketing business. Number 1, consistency establishes your reputation. Anyone can be good once in a while. The success separator among people is consistently being good. Cal Ripken in the Baseball Hall of Fame, Cal Ripken is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He set a record that will never be broken. He played 2,632 consecutive baseball games. For over 16 years, he came to the ballpark and played. He received the longest and loudest ovation ever given a baseball player the night they honored him for his consistency. Which of the 2,632 games put him in the Hall of Fame? Which game caused the crowd to stand and cheer for 17 minutes? All of them. The network marketing industry rewards consistency. A fast start in this business will turn heads. However, consistency will turn profits. No one ever quit their way to the top. Doing the right things every day will give you the right results. The power of 5 only becomes powerful with consistency. Consistency is the prerequisite to excellence. We are never good the first time. It takes several times before we show improvement. In fact, Malcolm Gladwell says that to achieve star status of excellence, you need to do something 10,000 times. How do you arrive at that number? Consistency. Doing the right thing consistently maximizes your life. Average people go to the game and then leave the game. Leaders get in the game and stay in the game. Success is more about what you do than what you know. In your industry, everyone gets training, but not everyone gets equal value from it. Everyone gets exposure, but not everyone gets equal value from it. Everyone gets relationships, but not everyone gets equal value from them. Everyone gets encouragement, but not everyone gets equal value from it. Everyone gets resources, but not everyone gets equal value from them. So, what's the difference? Exceptional leaders make the most of their opportunities and, as a result, can be described as amazing. Becoming amazing is the result of doing the right things consistently. Here's a list. I think there's 9. Practicing is not amazing. Studying is not amazing. Trying is not amazing. Showing up is not amazing. Asking questions is not amazing. Changing is not amazing. Working is not amazing. Failing is not amazing. Trying again is not amazing. Individually, these things are typical. Combined and done consistently, they become exceptional. When they are pursued with passion and a desire to ultimately add value to others, they become amazing. Those at the top of your network marketing organizations are models of consistency. They didn't get there quickly or easily. It has taken them years to become an overnight success. You watch them lead thousands and you say to yourself, I would like to do what they do. You listen to them speak and you say to yourself, I would like to do what they do. You stand on to your feet as the crowd recognizes their accomplishments, and you say to yourself, I would like to do what they do. You see their financial successes, and you say to yourself, I would like to do what they do. But did you ever stop to ask yourself, am I willing to do what they did so I can do what they do? They consistently did what they did thousands of times so that today they get to do what they do. Cheers. Little active. Consistency compounds. That's the number 3 point. Do you know the return of doubling a penny in 31 days? Day 7, you'll only have 64 cents. Day 14, 81.92. Day 21, $10,485.76. Day 28, 1.3 million. Day 31, $10.8 million. It takes time for the little things to add up to big things. If you wanted to melt an ice cube and the temperature was 28 degrees, nothing would happen. Raise it to 29 and still nothing. Bump it to 30, nothing. Even at 31, nothing. But at 32, something happens. The ice begins to melt. Your work without results is not wasted. At 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees, it's stored. Consistency stored work compounds. If you're persistent, you will gain successes. Momentum is the result of many pushes, not just one. Excellence is the result of many practices, not just one. If you're consistent, you will keep succeeding. Martial artist and philosopher Bruce Lee was right when he stated, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. You lead yourself when you live intentionally, exceed expectations, and harness consistency. And the result of doing these three things is you move away from the lesser things in life and begin leading yourself intentionally towards the greater things. Leading others. Once you've committed to leading yourself first, you can begin to lead others. If the thought of leading others seems intimidating, just think of it as influencing others. Why? Because leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. If you have any influence with anyone, you have the foundation for leading them. In this section, you will learn how to increase your influence with others. As that happens, your leadership potential will increase. In your network marketing organization, you'll be given a position that does not make you a leader, but it does give you an opportunity to influence others, which in return will determine your leadership. Position is optional. Influence is essential. Leadership is crucial. If you want to use your influence with others effectively, there are 4 L's you need to consider and embrace. So here go the 4 L's. The first one is live what you say. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. People do what people see. Setting a good example is essential for being a good leader. In my book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the law of buy-ins says people buy into the leadership before they buy into the vision. That buy-in is only possible when your words and your life match. As a young leader, I wanted to increase my influence with others. A mentor helped me tremendously with his advice. John, what you say must be backed up by what you do. Out of that conversation, I made an important leadership decision. If I don't believe it, I won't do it. And if I don't live it, I won't ask others to do it. Today, I still live out of that important decision. My definition of a hypocrite is simple: a person who asks others to do what they won't do themselves. Wallace Wattles said, the world needs demonstrations more than instruction. I agree. The best way to make your words and actions match is to fill your inner life with good values. When you learn and live out good values, your positive influence is attractive to others. When the others see good values in you, such as character, commitment, teachability, initiative, servanthood, positive attitude, personal growth, and responsibility, they'll be able to develop those characteristics in their lives. Stanford research says that 89% of what we learn is visual. Living good values allows you to say this to others: follow me, and then show them the way. One of the first discoveries as a young leader when I went to a new job, one of my first discoveries as a young leader was when I went to a new job. My words carried more weight than my actions because the people did not know me. Over time, as they began to know me better, the weight of my influence with them shifted from what I said to what I did. That is why some people only follow leaders a short time. They are attracted to what they say, but become delusional when the leader's actions do not live up to their words. Your network marketing business will flourish when your words and actions match. So, number 2, L, the second L, lift people up by adding value to them. My passion to be a leader and to develop other leaders began in 1974. I became convinced that everything rises and falls on leadership. Today, my passion is much greater because I know that statement is true. The best thing that can happen to people is good leadership. The worst thing that can happen to people is bad leadership. Leadership is influence. Positive influence blesses others, while negative influence curses them. I like to use a visual to help leaders know the effects of either pushing their people down or pulling them up. I will bring someone up on stage and have them stand beside me. Then I place my hands on their shoulders and slowly push them down. To this, I have to bend down with them, and the audience can see that I reduce my stature by pushing the other person down. But when I begin to lift that individual up, the audience sees something different. They see that as I lift the other person, I begin to rise also. Everyone can see that what I do to others as a leader affects both of us. Never forget that as a leader, you're either someone's weight or someone's wings. I choose to be wings, which is why I practice my daily lifting game plan. Every day, I ask myself these questions to put myself up in the lifting spirit. Who will I add value to today? What will I think they need from me? What can I say that will encourage them? What can I do that will help improve their lives? And what am I learning that I can share with them? What am I doing that would inspire them? And after all we're together, will they know I added value to them? Number 3, third L, love. Love the people you lead. One of my favorite Charlie Brown lines is, I love mankind. It's just people I can't stand. I've known a lot of leaders like that. They love the crowd more than they love the person. The philosophy won't work for leaders because leadership begins with one, not the masses. Every individual you lead is consistently asking 3 questions about you. Does my leader like me? Can my leader help me? Can I trust my leader? 2 of those questions are relational. Relationships are the foundation of leadership. Without good relationships, leaders are tempted to manipulate people, and manipulating people is motivating for personal advantage. The leader wins, the people lose. That is always wrong. Good leaders motivate people for mutual advantage. The leader wins and the people win. Loving people will always cause you to motivate them, not manipulate them. Network marketing organizations excel in this area. They are family. The atmosphere of encouragement creates a warmth that keeps alive your hopes and dreams. Their desire for your accuracy and for you to be at your best allows you to achieve things you would never have thought possible. How does that happen? By combining love with friendship. Look at the potential leaders to mentor. Look for. So, number 4 is look. Look for potential leaders to mentor. This chapter has given you the foundation to become a very good leader. We've talked about leading yourself well, and we've talked about leading others well. But there's a higher leadership level we should seek when leading others. Finding potential leaders and then mentoring them to reproduce other leaders. I call this process the leader's greatest return. Here's a quick breakdown of how it works. Finding potential leaders. Look for people who produce results. Look for people who like to help others. Look for people who are personally growing. Look for people who attract people to themselves. Look for people who want leadership responsibilities. Mentoring potential leadership. Be an example of leadership. People do what people see. Help them to lead themselves first. Practice together the 4 L's of leadership. I know the variation of Franklin Benjamin's. If we tell them, then we will forget. If we show them, they will remember. If we involve them, they will change. One of the members of the ambassador program, someone who has achieved quite a lot in the industry, shared a great story that sums up why leadership matters. Years ago, after the ambassador had lost her dream home due to an unexpected financial challenge, she started her network marketing business as a way to recover. But she was so depressed by what she had lost that she couldn't focus on what she needed to build. Cheers. Her mentor in the business came to her one day, hugged her, and said, "If you will do what I tell you over the next couple of years, I will help you get back your house." The bold certainty of the mentor's words resonated with her. And for the next 2 years, she did everything her mentor told her to do. And not only did she pull out of depression, but she was able to rebuild and reclaim her dream home. Leadership matters and always will. Leaders matter evaluation. For each of the following sections, evaluate yourself on a scale from 1 to 5 for how well you're living out each item. So these are the questions. Lead yourself. How are you doing on stop accepting your life and start leading your life? Next, stop doing only what is expected. Start doing more than is expected. Stop doing important things someday. Doing important things are every day. Now, lead others. Live what you say. Lift people by adding value to them. Love the people you lead. Look for potential leaders to mentor. Last act is act. Apply what is the most important lesson I need to apply to myself in this chapter on the power of leadership. Change. What is the most important thing I need to change in my life from this chapter on the power of leadership? And teach. What is the most important thing I need to teach others from this chapter on the power of leadership? I don't know where this falls. Other books by John C. Maxwell may be helpful in developing your leadership. In Developing the Leader Within 2.0, The Leader's Greatest Platform, and irrefutable laws of leadership. Say to the end. So thank you very much. This has been chapter 4 of The Power of 5. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now I will upload it. With any luck, it won't take forever.